society. It's grown from the proud heritage and wisdom of BC's First Nations and their century-long ties to our land. The circle has continued to expand, adding the experience, energy, and skills of people who chose to come here from other lands. We are men and women of every color. We speak dozens of languages. We're people of faith and non-believers. We are gay and lesbian and straight. We are working families, young people starting out. We're seniors seeking to live their retirement years in dignity. We have family relationships that span the globe. But our heart is here. This is our home. And in our unique diversity, we forged common values, and we did it by working together. We did it by recognizing that everyone matters. Now, we're not perfect, but when you look around the world, ours is an uncommon achievement. And it's an achievement to trumpet with pride and to build on. And friends, that's what this election is really about. It's about here, here. Neighbors, for our children? Is it an inclusive, optimistic, prosperous, fair society for everyone? Or is it a society that's more and more divided between the rich and poor, rural and urban, young and old? I know where I stand. I know where you stand, and on May 12th, British Columbians from Vancouver to Prince George, from Nelson to Campbell River, British Columbians from all walks of life will stand together and take back their Gordon Campbell calls that strong. I sake, Gordon Campbell's going to use this recession as an excuse he's looking for to carry out his extreme agenda. To sell off more public assets, to break more contracts, to shred environmental protections and push for things like offshore oil and gas drilling, to keep the public in the dark about special deals for friends and insiders, to heap more costs on to average families. That's Gordon Campbell's BC. It's divisive, it's unfair, and that's why on May 12th we are going to take back your BC. Success for the public good. And now, under Gordon Campbell, BC Hydro must buy their power from private companies. More than 200 rivers and streams have already been sacrificed. More than 600 rivers and streams are in the process of being sold. That's Gordon Campbell's BC, but I know that that's not your BC. Hard work is rewarded. We will end the freeze and raise the minimum wage. Tuition fees have skyrocketed, as we heard. Student debt has gone through the roof. In Gordon Campbell's BC, opportunity is only available if you can afford it. Well, in your BC, opportunity is giving everyone the chance to make the most of themselves, and we will invest in people in your BC.
Create a bit of a glue down here.
Waitlists, you suffer alone with no one to turn to, no one to stand up for your rights. In Gordon Campbell's BC, too many senior citizens have been treated like second-class citizens. Well, in your BC, that's going to change. To the collapsing industry. Well, in your BC, government will stand side by side with forest workers and their communities. We will command BC's fair share from Ottawa to help those industries, and we will restrict the export of raw logs and in your BC, every British Columbian matters. And that's the stark contrast between the two visions for the future in this campaign. In one of those futures, every British Columbian has a stake. In the other, BC is increasingly exploited for the few, while many are left